Thank you very much on behalf of the WBC.
Thank you all for coming. We will do some questions here from the podium, and then we'll let the media jump in and ask some of their questions. This promises to be a fantastic night. The first fight between Ronald and David was just a terrific fight back on September 8th. So let me start with you, Ronald. You were almost out there, and then you floored it in the final round. Now in your first title defense, as a challenger here, what do you think you could do differently in this fight, having been so close in the first fight?
First thing I want to say hello to everybody to come to support us, and I can do a lot of things more better than the first fight, and I prove I do first time, and I know I can do it. I can do more better on the rematch. I'm not here for no reason. I'm here because I deserve the rematch.
Were you surprised he granted you a rematch so soon as his first defense?
No, I'm not surprised.
A lot of times a guy who has a guy on the verge of being out has to wait an awful long time to get that opportunity again.
Yeah, I'm very happy for that, and I want to thank Benavides to give me the rematch, because it's not going to be easy fight for him.
David, you got your belt right here with you. Why give him your first title defense when you were on the verge of not winning the first time?
You know, I feel like I won the fight clearly. You know, just a little knockdown that him and his team think that they can come back and do something spectacular. You know, I have a lot to prove, you know, to my people and everybody who believes in me. So, you know, I'm working extremely hard for this training camp, and I'm gonna go in there and it's gonna be a war, and I'm gonna come out still champion.
You're looking to remain and keep your reign as the youngest world champion.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean to you, to be so young and so successful?
It means a lot to me. I've worked my whole life, and I've dedicated my whole life to the sport, and it just means so much to me to become the youngest world champion in super middleweight history, and I just want to become a great, and that's exactly what I'm gonna become if I keep working hard.
What do you think will be different in this fight?
There's a lot of things that's going to be different. Our strategy is a little bit different. You know, the training camp has been different. We've been working with Alex Ariza, my father, Jose Benavides, Carlos Alvarez, you know, so we've been doing a lot of different things, finding a lot of different fighters, you know, getting a lot of different looks. And I feel like this fight is going to be totally different from the second fight, and I'm going to knock him out.
Ronald, what do you think will be the difference in this fight?
Nothing changed for him to bring the new training fitness coach. Nothing changed. Next on the rematch, I'm ready to win this fight, to win clear the first fight.
How much do you look at the first fight to try and help yourself for the second fight? Do you use that as a frame of reference?
To watch the fight?
Train, yes, to look at what it is that you could do better, look at some of the things that he did well. How much of an instructional guide is that for you?
I really don't understand the question.
How much have you learned from the first fight, which you think can help propel you to be successful in the second fight?
I learned a lot from the first fight, and from all the fights I learned, you know, and I know I can do more better. I know that. I'm ready for this fight.
And what have you learned in review of the first fight?
I learned a lot from the fight, you know. We have our own strategy, our game plan. I'm not going to say too much, but we learned a lot. And like I said, I'm going to knock him out this fight.
All right. Let's turn now to the main event. Danny, you've been on top. You were on top for 6 consecutive years, and then you had the loss to Keith Thurman. You spent a year off. Why?
First of all, I want to thank God for bringing me here on a safe flight from Philadelphia. I want to thank Showtime, you know, for picking up this fight. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank Team Garcia back at home. Like I said before, I feel great. I needed the time off. spend a great time off, spending time with my daughter, watching my daughter grow up, being a father, being a regular person. Being on top of the sport for 5-6 years, it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of dedication, and I feel like I need a little time off just to get rejuvenated, let my mind rest and my body rest, and I feel good. 2018, it's time for me to pick up where I started.
When you haven't lost, and then you suffer a loss, how difficult is that to handle?
At the end of the day, it's a loss on paper. That's all it is. You look at my life the way I'm living good. My family's living good. My fans love me all around the world. I personally thought I did enough to win the fight. I closed the show like a true champion. That's what true champions do. They come, they fight from round 1 to the end. At the end of the day, it was a close fight. I didn't get the decision, but I'm still a true champion, and I'll fight anybody, anywhere.
So it did not, or it did, wear on you mentally to lose that decision?
It bothered me. I'll be a liar to say it didn't bother me. I lost sleep. I woke up some days like, damn, I got an L on my damn record. And just knowing that I know I'm the better fighter. I know I'm the better fighter, but it's in the past now. That's in the past. There's a new chapter of Danny Garcia's career, and it starts 2018.
And that new chapter begins with Garcia Rios, a guy who always comes forward. What about his style do you feel you'll have to be concerned with?
You know, it's a classic fight. Boxer puncher versus brawler. Unless you want to try to box me like Keith Thurman. But you know, you never know, shit. You might put on his shoes on that day, so I gotta come prepared for whatever. You know, it is what it is. I gotta go in there in 2018. I'm mentally focused. I feel good. I feel strong. I just gotta go in there and beat Danny Garcia, the fighter I always been.
Brandon, you just teed up that question. Are you going to come like Keith Thurman did, or are you going to come like Bam Bam Rios?
Everybody knows my style. Everybody knows that I don't come to box and dance and shit like that. I'll come to fight. That's what I come to do. I'm not a Keith Thurman. I'm not a dancer or whatever that he thought he could win that fight that day. I'm going to go in there with balls and heart out and show the world that I'm still a top contender. It's just I have bad falls. It's because of my fault. That's what it is.
You've had an 18-month layoff. Where have you been, and why have you not fought?
Well, I fought not that long ago. It was in Lancaster. It was a little show. I got the win, but you know,
you
I got the win.
Yes.
You know, I stopped the guy what I'm supposed to be doing with a guy like that type of record. But it is what it is. Now I feel good. You know, I feel rejuvenated, and like Danny said, my body needed that rest. It needed that rest because I've been in wars. All my fights have been wars. You know, the 3 Alvarado fights was wars, and it took a toll on my body. So my body needed that little rest, and that's what I got. And I feel good, and I feel rejuvenated, and I'm ready for 2018 to come back and give the fans and the world a different Bam Bam Rios.
And it's a difficult test to fight against Danny. Why specifically did you want to take this fight?
You gotta fight the best to try to beat the best, and why not Danny Garcia? You know, he's been up there for so long. He have done great in the boxing sport, and he's a champion of many in 2-weight division, and he became title holders and many title holders. So you know, why not? I'm always ready for the test. I'll fight anybody. I'll fight King Kong himself. I don't care. I just fight anybody. And why? I already did a tuna fight, so why I gotta go back and get another tuna fight? You know what I mean? So I'm not getting younger. I'm getting older. So why not, Danny?
Danny, you guys like each other?
I don't know him personally, so personally I have nothing against him.
Exactly. I don't know this guy either. I took today.
But we fighting now, so I don't like him.
Oh, fuck it.
It's a fight now. Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know
This is
what
the
I mean?
first time you met?
First time I met this guy, first time I seen this guy, so like he said, we're fighting, so fuck him, he fuck me. It is what it is, that's what it comes out to be. So first a fight works.
A hug and club after the fight.
After the fight, after a nice little war, then we'll be like, fuck it, let's go drink a beer or something.
Danny, you fought against Roberto Guerrero, who has a similar type of style, and he gave you a little bit of trouble even though you won the fight. Is that the type of fight you would anticipate here against Bam Bam?
It's a different, I mean, they both come forward, but I still say it's a kind of different style. Guerrero's a southpaw, crafty veteran. I think it was like my second fight at 147. It was a good fight. I thought I won easy, but it is what it is.
All right, let's bring in Robert Garcia, the great trainer. Robert, you're co-training here with Bam Bam. How do you see this fight, and how would you assess where Bam Bam is right now?
Look, it's a hell of a fight. You know, Danny Garcia, we've known him. I go back with Danny since the amateurs, you know, with Mikey, my brother Mikey, and everything. So, you know, we've seen most of his career, and we've seen the success that he's had, and he's very good at what he does. But Brandon, you know, he doesn't want to come back with tune-up fights one after the other. He wants to fight the best, and this opportunity came, and you know, that's why we're here. You know, Brandon didn't even hesitate to take this fight. He's training really hard. You know, Donald Leary right here next to me is doing a great job with him in Oxnard, and when they come to my gym in Riverside, he's getting the best sparring that he could get. You know, that's one thing that's very important, and he's doing it. He's doing everything he has to do. He's as you guys could see, I'm pretty sure you guys remember Brandon 6 weeks before his fights, he probably beat weighing 180, and right now he's very, very close to fight weight. So that's one thing that's going to make a big difference too.
No one can speak for Angel, but since your father's not here, a rebuttal to that.
You really want me to tell you what he said?
Go ahead.
Got a text, so.
I'm sure you did. Is this for general audiences or is this X-rated?
This is PG.
Okay.
He said, sorry, I'm not there with you. Sorry, I'm not there with you. Spiritually, God bless you, love you. I will be there for the fight night. Tell the media to suck my dick.
We just can't wait for him to be there with you on fight night. Keeps it classy as always. With that, not that that's any way to introduce the media. We will now open it up for the media. Let's give a shout out to the great Sam Watson, who is here in the building. We all love and appreciate Sam and all he does for all the fighters, and for the game of boxing, and his two sons, Marcus and Brandon. We have a microphone out here, and raise your hand and fire away. Also be one-on-one opportunities with these guys when we finish up here.
For Danny, this has been the longest layoff of your career. How do you feel, and what have you learned in this time off?
And who are you, and where are you from?
Albert Perez from Hoy Deportes.
I feel good. I feel good. Like I said before, I took the time off just to be a regular person, spend time with my daughter. I feel good. My body feels rested mentally, physically, and I'm ready to kick off 2018.
Danny Muhammad Mubarak with EURweb.com. What is the most that you gained from that last fight? What could you tell us? What was it that you thought you could have done most?
I thought I fought a pretty good fight. I don't think it was the best Danny Garcia, but like I said before, I fought a good fight. I thought I did enough to win. Like I said before, it gave me a feeling that I haven't felt in a long time. Coming up in the ranks as a prospect, from being an underdog my whole career, it gave me a feeling like I had a chip on my shoulder again, like I had something to prove again. And that type of Danny Garcia is always a dangerous Danny Garcia. I feel like a young prospect again who's hungry to win a world title. And that's the chip I have on my shoulder right now. It's just, I have dead weight on my back that I have to get rid of.
Brandon, Outlaw with Instant Boxing. We've seen you before in between fights balloon up. However, since your last fight, we've seen you at multiple media events, and you've been looking slim, you've been looking more fit and in shape. What have you been doing in the in-between time that's different from in the past?
Training, and just keep training and doing it right this time. Not blowing up like I was before. Not just going out and eating everything. So you know what I mean. I've been training. That's all. Between fights, events I've been going to, I've been training and just keeping up in shape. That's all.
Danny, for you, why was Brandon considered the ideal opponent in this spot and not Sean Porter?
That's Lance Pugmire of the LA Times.
How you doing? Thanks, guys.
My whole
Big
career,
time.
I never picked none of my opponents. From Amir Khan to Lucas Matisse to Keith Thurman to Lamont Peterson, the list goes on. I never picked none of my opponents. My job is to fight and put whoever they put in front of me. His name came up, I said where and when. And that's how my whole career has been. I never ducked no one, never turned no one down. If Sean Porter's name would have came up in the conversation, then it would have been Sean Porter, but it wasn't. It was Garcia Rios, and that's why I'm here today.
And is it ultimately, should you be successful, I don't want to get ahead of this, but would you like to fight Thurman again or Errol Spence, or where would you like to do should you be successful?
I would love to. I would love to have the rematch, but if not, I'll fight the Spence fight.
Tim, you're going to bring Tim Smith, the great Tim Smith here, you're going to bring that message back to Mr. Heyman?
I don't make fights.
And for Brandon, I mean, obviously, previously you walked away from the sport. So now every fight that you take on from that point, does that help you? I mean, could this be your last fight if you lose? And knowing that, does that help, motivate you through the training camp and sharpen your focus for an opponent like Danny Garcia?
I am, you know what, I'm not really thinking about those type of things right now. All I'm thinking about is training and being well prepared and well in shape. And for Danny Garcia, that's all I'm training for. And I'm not thinking about what could happen after or what could happen before or anything like that. I'm just focused on training and being in good shape, that's all.
Aaron Cantu with the Boxing Voice. This is for Coach Robert. Coach, how do you analyze Danny Garcia as a fighter, and what are some of the bigger challenges he presents to Brandon in the ring?
It's the whole boxing world has seen Danny Garcia throughout his career. Like I said, I'm one of them. I've always been a fan of his fights. He always brings out great fights, and he has a tremendous left hook. Great power. He could box. He could punch. So it's a challenge for the team to prepare Brandon, and it's a challenge for Brandon to listen and do what he needs to do to be able to pull this off. But the whole training camp, the whole team, we all feel very positive that we're gonna go out and pull it off.
Mike Common, Journey Magazine. Question for Brandon. You said earlier that you kind of thought that some of your losses were due to your own actions rather than someone else. What are you referring to in particular? That you're doing better now? Because
The way I took training, the way I would come in and weight, I would lose the last fucking 15, 20 pounds week of the fight. So it was my fault, you know what I mean? I was young and dumb, that's all I can say. And that's why everything I do, I always blame it on myself. I never took the blame on nobody else. You know what I mean? It's my fault.
What do you weigh now?
Huh? 195. Nah,
How about with your clothes off?
Huh? With my clothes off?
What do you weigh?
With my clothes off? You want to take off my clothes?
What do you weigh is the question.
No, what I weigh, I'm pretty good now. I weigh 157, so I'm good.
Okay.
I knew you was a dirty animal.
I figured you had probably 50 pounds
I
in your
knew you
pocket.
was a dirty animal.
Just exactly what I want to see.
This question is for both Danny Garcia and Brandon Rios. Miguel Maravilla, by the way, with FightNews.com, Southern California Boxing. This is the first time you guys meet each other, right? Have you seen each other as far as fight? What do you think of each other's style, and in terms of in the ring?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fight. You got to prepare yourself for whatever happens. Like I said before, I seen him fight before. He seen me fight before. So he thinks he could do something to me. I think I could do something to him. But at the end of the day, it's who shows up that night. And I'm training hard. You know, I'm training like it's a world title fight. I don't know not how to not train hard. You know, sometimes I push myself too hard the last week of the fight, and I gotta slow down, possibly like slow down. It's the week of the fight, so like at the end of the day, it's a fight. You could say he fights a certain way, I fight a certain way, but it just comes down who shows up fight night, and I always show up.
I agree too, and I think what makes this an exciting fight is that Danny's not known as a run around fighter. Danny's, yes, he does have boxing skills. He does have great counter puncher. He's a great counter puncher and everything, but he's not known as moving around as much as Keith Thurman did in his last fight with him. But what also makes this an exciting fight, it's Puerto Rican versus Mexico, and they always give an exciting war fight. You know, he's a Mexican Puerto Rican, I'm a Mexican American, and those gives great fights. So it's gonna be an awesome fight.
All right. David, Ronald, Danny, Bam Bam, Robert?
I mean...
He called me a Mexican Puerto Rican. I'm taking shit. I love Mexico. We all Latinos at the end of the day. We gotta stick together anyway.
Well, you know what I meant though. I fucked up on that one. Nobody caught it but this guy. Hey, players fuck up.
You done?
No.
Keep going. All right. We look forward to the fight. We thank you all for being here. It's going to be a great fight on Showtime. Hope you all will tune in on Saturday, February 17th. We look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas. And we thank Mayweather Promotions. Have a good afternoon.